Man, the damn Lakers got one. The Sacramento Kings lose 113 to 110 to the Los Angeles Lakers in Sacramento. In a game where the Kings just never really had enough offense, enough force, enough power to ever take a big lead in the game or ever even get the lead in the game. The Lakers just kind of overpowered, kind of overwhelmed the Kings, and the Kings only scored about 100 points. And I think we know in today's NBA, 100 points isn't much, and it's not going to win you a whole lot of games, especially at home. The Sacramento Kings are 13-15 and currently in 12th place in the Western Conference. 9 games out of first place in a race that is still pretty tight. I mean, there's a ton of teams with only 14 wins. The Nuggets still have 14 wins. They're in 6th place. In the top of the division is the Thunder, who are 21-5. They're pretty much the cream of the crop of the division. Memphis Grizzlies have crept all the way up to 2nd place and are 19-9. And the Houston Rockets are currently in 3rd place at 18-9. 2 new young teams that are up there in the top 3. In my opinion, this Western Conference is still wide open. The Kings have been unfortunate to be on a 2-game losing streak, but it wouldn't take much to advance up this Western Conference. All it would take is some wins. And I want to ask that you please like this content, please subscribe, share, and make a comment. If you like Kings talk, if you're ready for some Kings analysis, go ahead and click that like button and subscribe. After every Kings game, I talk Kings. I analyze the game, so you're going to want to see that. Go ahead and subscribe. Also, make a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. Comment about the Kings. Let me know how the Kings are doing. Comment about the weather. I don't care. Comment about anything. Also, please share the content. Share it anywhere. Share it on any of your social medias. I really appreciate it. And I want to say welcome to my show. Thank you for being here, YouTube. And to all my friends and all my folks and all you Kings fans, it's your guy, Jay Woods, aka Shy the Man, and I'm back at you with another episode of the Kings Morning After Midday Cup of Joe with Jay. Yeah, sometimes I drink my coffee weird like this. Now, if the cup was hella high, I wouldn't be holding it like this. I'd be holding it like this, but probably with my right hand. Today we're holding it with my left hand. Cup of Joe with Jay. Thank you for being here. I want to say I really appreciate you joining me. Today is the day after the Kings got beat by the Lakers, and it is December 20th, 2024. And today is, you know what today is. You know what today is. Yeah. It's Friday. End of the work week Friday. End of the work week, yeah. And my cup of Joe for today is that the Sacramento Kings, man, the Sacramento Kings. What can I say about these guys? Not that I'm at a loss for words of what to say. There's a ton of things I could say about these Kings. And right now, one of the things I could say is it ain't working. And I'm going to tell you a few reasons why I believe it ain't working. One of the reasons why I believe it's not working is our depth. We don't have enough guys. We just don't have enough guys to give these guys a break. We don't have enough good guys. 1A, B guys, B-level guys. We don't have enough of them. When you get to our bench, we got a lot of developmental players. Also, in my opinion, were not big enough. Domantas Sabonis, in my opinion, is really a power forward. But in this era NBA where teams play really short anyway, he can play center. I mean, he can play center, but then when he goes against really tall guys, really big guys, sometimes he has issues. But if he had a really dominant power forward next to him, or somebody that can really help him with defense and rebounding, I think Domantas would look a lot different, and it would help him out a lot. Besides, even if we did have another center, I don't think Mike Brown would play him with Sabonis, just the way Mike Brown's rotations are, in my opinion. And the other factor, I believe, is the defense. Kings are just soft. Kings are really soft, and I guess it goes back to not really having a bunch of tough guys down low, you know, at power forward. You know, we got Keegan Murray playing power forward most of the time, and Keegan, he plays defense and he rebounds. He helps with the rebounds on some nights, but he's just not really that tough presence where he's pushing guys around, blocking guys out, you know, fouling guys hard if they're coming to the lane. Attitude, you know, he's not one of those guys. You know, he's kind of quiet. So, you know, he's more of a stretch power forward where he shoots a lot of threes, stretches the floor. So in my opinion, it's those three things right now that the Kings are lacking or kind of needing. Will they be able to address those things? I'm not sure. Can they win without those things? Probably. They can probably win with this team. They're just real short-handed, it feels, on most nights. And they don't have enough scores, enough dogs that are just going to go out there and score or get their points. And they have three-point shooters, but the three-point shooter is a bit off. So until the Kings address those things, it kind of is what it is. The Kings are probably about where they should be. A lot of these teams that the Kings were better than a year or two ago are now better than the Kings, and they're climbing up the Western Conference. So the Kings are going to have to figure out what they can do with this roster that they have, unless they get a trade. But in my opinion, a trade isn't going to do much. The Kings need to stack players rather than trade players back and forth and, you know, reshuffle guys and all this. They need to stack more good young players, more wings, more tall guys, more down low guys, some big guys that can score, and some big guys that can shoot threes. So that's my cup of Joe. Black, one creamer. I'm going to give you guys some quick stats. So the Sacramento Kings started off bad. They picked it up a little bit in the second quarter. Looks like it was about 62 to 58 at halftime. So the Kings started off the second half in a deficit, which usually is not good. The second half is almost like the second start of the game, and you're basically starting with a 4-point deficit. And to be honest, this game was kind of close most of the time. Both teams' stats were about the same. It's just the Lakers played better. They got a block when they needed a block. They made a shot when they needed a shot. The Kings didn't. You know, the Lakers got a rebound where the Kings didn't get a rebound when they needed to. And in the last quarter, the Lakers outscored the Kings 7 points for the 113-110 victory. And for the Lakers, the leading scorer was Austin Reeves, of all people. Their starting two guard, who is really picking up his game. He's a great shooter. He ended up with 25 points on the night. Anthony Davis had 21. They had some help off the bench from D'Angelo Russell, Gabe Vincent, and Cam Reddish. Dalton Knecht played. Cam Reddish didn't get any points, but he got in the game. Played some defense, I suppose. Gabe Vincent with 12 off the bench. D'Angelo Russell with 16. They're starting Max Christie. Not sure why that is. I haven't been paying attention to the Lakers, but Max Christie started last night over D'Angelo Russell. Anthony Davis had a big 20 rebounds on the night. And for the Kings, their leading scorer was our guy, De'Aaron Fox, with the big 26 points. Domantas Sabonis with the big 18 points and 12 rebounds. He also had 9 assists, one away from another triple-double for the man Domantas Sabonis, the blue-collar worker. Off the bench, they didn't get much help. Kobe Jones, Doug McDermott only played a minute each, which sometimes I don't understand. I can see a lot of use for Doug McDermott, who is a very good three-point shooter. Alex Len got 5 minutes. Isaac Jones got 5 minutes. Their scoring was kind of low. Keon Ellis with 5 points. Herter with 7 points off the bench. Keegan Murray with a little bit of help rebounding for Domantas. I just wish we had some more guys in there to help with the rebounding and the defense. And the team stats, Like I said, the team stats were pretty much even for both teams. Both teams shot 40 to 45%. Both teams shot about 36, 37%, with the Lakers hitting one more three than the Kings, 12 to 11. Free throws, Lakers hit about 83%, which was about 10 more free throws than the Kings. So they got 10 more points in free throws than the Kings. Total rebounds, the Lakers with about 11 more rebounds than the Kings. That could say something there. They had 11 more possessions off of rebounds. Assists about the same, in the 20s. Steals, both teams about 8-9 steals. Lakers with 9 blocks, Kings with 6 blocks. Points in the paint, 44. So if you just looked at the team stats, the game looked pretty even. Although, and it pretty much was. It was kind of back and forth, with the Lakers kind of having a 5-6 point lead for most of the game. The Kings just couldn't overtake that lead at any point. Eye test. We're going to take an eye test. All right. Kings eye test. So in this game, it was another game where the Kings started off somewhat slow. It was about 15-2, 15-4, 17-4. That was a nice N1 for the Kings, helped bring them back. It just takes so much effort to come back when you're down in the beginning by so much. And the Kings put themselves in these holes, and it takes so much to get out. Anthony Davis had a really big game this game. A lot of people say Domas owns Anthony Davis because for a while he had like a 10-0 record versus the Lakers. That has ended, and they have lost the last 2 versus the Lakers now. Advance here into the middle of the second quarter, and the Kings, as you can see, are still down by 5. They started with that big deficit and just really were never able to come all the way back. Here they're down by 1, but it really felt like, and they actually went up. Okay, the Kings actually went up by 2 at this point, but the Lakers immediately went back up. Ooh, nice dunk by Malik Monk. Alley-oop, nice pass from Domantas Sabonis. And one on Domantas on Anthony Davis. Boom, and then at this point is where I would say the Lakers kind of went up by 2. And by halftime, they were up by 4, and the Kings just never were able to come back. So now we're kind of towards the end of the third. The game is tied. So it was a fight. It was really a fight all the way through on this game. The Lakers and the Kings usually have pretty good games versus each other. Kings always being that little brother, just trying to get ahead of the Lakers any way they can. Any team with LeBron James is going to be good. And on into the end of the fourth, the Lakers were up by 11 with 3:45 left in the game. 13. And the Kings just didn't have enough offense, enough scoring power, enough guys hitting shots to ever overcome the Lakers. And they didn't have enough defense to stop them. Just felt like the Lakers just kind of overpowered them. Drove to the basket whenever they needed to, posted up whenever they needed to, and they even hit a lot of shots, seemed like, whenever they wanted to. The Kings only ended up with 100 points, so as you can see from this point on, the Kings only scored about 5 more points. And that was just horrible box out at the end of a game when you need it the most. And Murray hit that last 3, but it was pretty much too little too late at that point. Bottom line, the Kings morning after. Bottom line. Today's bottom line is. Bottom line, pretty much kind of went over it a lot in my cup of joe is that for the Kings to turn this around, they're going to have to play a lot better offensively. If they're going to be kind of short on the bench, the starters are going to have to score more. Guys are going to have to hit more shots. Keegan Murray, Herter, Keon Ellis, all these guys, all these second-tier guys are going to have to hit a lot more shots than what they're doing currently. Defense, the guys are going to have to find a way to keep guys out of the paint. I mean, even if that means you got to foul a guy every now and then, just so that he doesn't get an easy shot or an easy layup or easy drive to the basket, then that's something you got to do. Guys are going to have to be quicker to close out from on three-point shots. I don't know how they're going to be able to step up at power forward center area, which they feel like they just kind of need a center in there or another dominant power forward, somebody that's going to play some hard defense and pull some rebounds. And they tried to do that by getting Crowder, but I think we know at this point Crowder kind of at the end of his career and has probably lost a step or two. So he's not really the same guy he was when he was winning championships or going to the championships with the Celtics. So with the roster that we got, nobody's going to come and help us. Nobody's going to come save us. And in my opinion, a trade is not going to help unless we're able to trade one or two guys for like four guys. Because to me, it's depth, not necessarily talent. So, with what they got to play offensively well. They got to score. They got to score in the 115 to 120 range. And they're going to have to try their best to hold guys out of the paint. They're going to have to put their chest on guys. They're going to have to take charges. And they're going to have to get a hard foul every now and then. That's my bottom line. Next up, the Kings play the Lakers again. So they got another go at it. They get to go at these guys again. This could be a revenge game for them. They need to go out there and play hard. And that game is Saturday, December 25th. Saturday, December 21st at 3 p.m. Be there, be square, and check out my analysis the day after the game. You can do that by subscribing to the channel now. I'd really appreciate it. We're new, but we're trying to grow the channel. It'll really help out if you subscribe today. All right, so I'm here in Bet Us. Some of this is cut off, I know. So I'm here in Bet Us right now. Some of this is cut off, I know. But over here it says game. If you want to select the games, they also have special bets. But this is what I use to sports bet. I'm in California and I'm able to sports bet. The lines aren't out for the Sacramento Kings yet. But if you're interested in sports betting, I recommend Bet Us or Bet US. And as you can see, they have the games here. They're saying Miami Heat is going to win by 1 point at home. How do you feel about that? Do you think OKC can beat the Miami Heat at home? If so, you would bet +1. And then they also have these specials that I selected. Looks like there's only one game on tonight. Will the Boston Celtics win 3 consecutive championships, 24, 25, 26 seasons? You got a +700 money line, meaning 7 times your bet. If you bet 5, you could win 7 times your bet, $35. Bet $100, you'll win $700. Obviously, you won't know till after the end of the 26th season. Will Kawhi Leonard announce his retirement during the 24-25 season? If he does, people are looking like he has +500 odds on that. Is going down, which means people are thinking he's going to retire soon. First-time NBA Finals winner. If you think yes, you could win 5.5 times your money. So you bet $100, you would win $550. And Brandon Ingram's next team, they feel like he's going to be traded. If it's not the Pelicans, they feel like he could possibly go to the Lakers, the Clippers, LA teams, Golden State Warriors, Bulls, Nuggets, Spurs. They don't have the Kings on there, unfortunately. CJ McCollum's next team. These are some guys that they think might possibly be traded. Ben Simmons. They even have De'Aaron Fox on here. Interesting. So far right now, currently, Orlando Magic has the biggest odds of landing De'Aaron Fox if he's traded. They also have the Spurs on here, who would be a good option because he's from Texas. Miami Heat, Rockets, and the Lakers. I find that interesting that he's on there. Butler's next team is probably going to be Houston Rockets. So there's some extra stuff you could bet on here if you're into betting, if you're interested in that kind of thing. I just ask that you use the link below in the description. Use the link below, and it helps out the channel. I appreciate it. Thanks. And I have a question for you guys. Please make a comment below. Are you a little nervous about what's going on with the Kings right now? They just went 2 games under 500. Are you scared? Do you feel like they're going to totally fall off? Are you scared they're not going to make the playoffs? Make a comment below. Making comments also helps me beat the algorithm's ass. And as always, I ask, please like the content. If you're still watching to this point, you must have liked something. You must have liked my analysis or something. So go ahead, click that like button. And also, if you're into Kings talk, NBA talk in general, Sacramento Kings, I ask that you subscribe. We're new, but we're trying to grow the channel. We're going to be doing some other fun stuff later too. So go ahead and click subscribe. Also, make a comment. Share the content. Share the content anywhere that you can. All these things help me kick the algorithm's ass, and I appreciate you for doing it. All right, I have a quote for you guys. This one's pretty interesting. I've never heard this one, but I think it's a pretty good motivational quote. And it goes like this: life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. And that one's by Anais Nin. I'm not sure who that is, but it's a great quote. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. And that makes a lot of sense to me. There's going to be things in life where you're going to have to be courageous. You're going to have the courage to do. You're going to have courage to get through them. You're going to have courage to actually step up to the plate and actually do what it takes to get whatever it is done. So I really understand where she's coming from with that. All right, guys, stay courageous. And I really appreciate you guys watching this far. And I just want to say thank you for joining me on the latest episode of the Kings Morning After. Midday Cup of Joe with Jay. Hopefully you'll be back for the next episode. I appreciate you for joining me. Go ahead and click that subscribe so you get a notification, or they'll at least show my face when I do the next one. And I'm out. But before I go, check out my moves. It's good.